I got a private message for Black Democrats. You're no longer needed. Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. Let me explain something to you, Black Democrats. If you believe that the cheating that went on in this election that made Joe Biden the most popular presidential candidate ever is legit, you don't get it. You just got played. Oh my gosh. Okay, I already did a video to explain to you that Black folks don't give a crap about Joe Biden. Never have, never will. I should also explain to you that for at least 6 or more decades, the Democrats have been playing your Black behinds, letting you think that you're going to get something by playing the old LBJ playbook. Give them just enough to get over, but not enough to get a hand up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know the thing. So you got played again. They want you to believe, oh, it was an overwhelming effort to get Joe Biden elected. Do you believe that? Do you legitimately believe if you voted for Barack Obama as a Black Democrat that more people, millions more people wanted Joe Biden than wanted baby Black Jesus? If you do, you fit perfectly in the scheme that they planned for you. You are part of the problem. They miseducated you. You are a moron. Barack Obama set the bar. I'm not going to reinstitute what I talked about before. Go look at that other video. But let me tell you something. Here's the game. Democrats knew what was happening. They saw the Black vote shifting because many Black Democrats, after the time of Obama, recognized something very simple. He did nothing to help the Black community. Nothing. He did nothing to help the community at large, but he certainly did nothing to help the Black community. And so if you can't help the Black community as a Black president, what do? Well, what good are you? That's what the man was put in there for. That's what white people put him in there for. They voted overwhelmingly, 68 million of them, saying, look, fix it. You get carte blanche. You got the House and the Senate for 2 years. Do what you need to assuage Black angst, whatever. Get rid of the idea of white privilege and white guilt so we can move on. And do you know what baby Black Jesus did? Absolutely nothing. And that's what led to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump started acting on behalf of your Black butts. That's what he did. He held every promise, criminal justice reform, reuniting mostly Black people with their families, giving them second chance opportunities at jobs to make real careers. Many of these Blacks got out of prison and were running for Congress and so on and so forth. And the Democrats couldn't stand it. And you know what they did? They played your Black behinds yet again. They did it again. The Congressional Black Circus is going to continue to get rich as Blacks in Main Street suffer. Same old playbook. But here's the major problem that you have this time, Black people that support Democrats. They don't need you. They don't need you. What was that? Y'all don't need them, right? Exactly. They no longer need you. See, they used to depend on the Black vote. And you know what happened in the 2016 to 2020 election cycle? They figured out Donald Trump got inside of your hearts. Donald Trump finally started making Black people go, wait a minute, man. We ain't getting what we're supposed to be getting. Our schools suck. We still have the highest criminality in our neighborhoods, and they want to defund the police. We have the highest levels of teenage pregnancy. We don't have businesses that want to come into Black neighborhoods because of the crime and because there is no academic base of excellence in the Black community, despite historically Black colleges and universities. And we can't get businesses that want to come here because we don't have the academic base and we have too much crime. And then we don't even want to talk about it internally. Donald Trump gets us talking about our problems Because you know how you solve problems, black people? Pay attention. You solve them by addressing them. You don't solve them by pretending they don't exist. Oh, what problem? What problem in the black community, man? Ain't no crime over here. Ain't no black on black crime. You solve problems by admitting you have a problem and saying, okay, let's fix it. What's it gonna take? And let me tell you, white people have been lining up for decades on the other side of the aisle saying, we wanna help. We don't wanna give you enough to get over, but not enough to get ahead. We want to help you. We want to show you the way. And you know what black folks do? Oh, man, they're over there trying to give us their culture. They want us to take on white culture. They want us to become like white people. What? Civilized? What? Educated? People who think for themselves? Individuals? What? What is so bad? The idea in the black community, the worst thing that could happen to you theoretically in the black community is to be traded to the white community, where you get what? Privilege and perks? Do you understand how stupid that is, black folks? There are people out there who want you to believe that people who have whole families, who send their kids to college to get real degrees, who have real opportunities after the fact, who raise good families, good children, and repeat the cycle. And we, on the other hand, are replete with single parent households, 72+%. We have more of our kids going from the pipeline of education or wacademia to prison. I mean, I could give you stat on top of stats. It would just blow your mind. And you think that being traded to the white folks is bad? Get out of here. Trade me. Are you kidding? The biggest thing that happened in this election cycle, whether black folks want to admit it, and let me tell you, Democrats, you should be ashamed of yourselves. And I'd be saying this to Republicans if you did it. They marginalized black folks. They noticed the trend. Black folks going, you know what? Things ain't getting any better. Wait, what's improved for us? Do we have the better schools now? Decades of pumping money, making black folks believe you're special. You've been oppressed, black man. We're going to make these white people feel underprivileged, feel their privilege and their guilt, and you're going to get it, and things will improve. And what's happened? Your schools improved, black folks? Huh? You got fewer people in prison? You're starting more businesses. You having less children out of wedlock? Are you marrying and raising your kids together? Is the quality of your life improving under Democrats in any way? And the answer is no. And when you finally start waking up, you know what the Democrats did? They said, we don't need your vote. We will create them. We will ballot harvest. Oh, Shaniqua, you ain't gonna vote? I got you, girl. Don't worry. I got you. You go. Do your thing. Do your thing. Yeah, go get mad at Whitey. Go get mad at some white person that's done nothing to you. White Republican that has no purpose in your life whatsoever. They're not your mayor, probably not even your governor. They're not your city council person. They're not head of the police. They're not over the school board. Everybody ruining black lives is a Democrat who's probably black, ruining black lives, proudly changing votes for Biden and things like this. But it's the white handlers that are really doing it, because what they said was, you know what? We can no longer rely on these black people to do that because Donald Trump changed the way they're thinking. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to make sure we don't have to worry about it. We never have to go to another black church. We never have to beg another black pastor to get black folks to come out in droves and do this or that. All we got to do is keep riling them up periodically, and they'll do our bidding, and they'll pretend like the black vote is out there for them en masse. And all we got to do is manufacture the votes we need to win, wherever we need them. Black folks, let me explain something to you, baby boys and baby girls. They don't need you. They just figured out they don't have to give a crap about you. You know who they're only going to care about? the congressional black circus clowns like Maxine Waters and Clyburn and others. And those are the ones who are going to get the money. And they're going to get it in droves. And they're going to keep telling you the same old song and dance. And sadly, in an election where Donald Trump blew through Barack Obama's numbers, the most votes, legitimate votes, a candidate has ever gotten in history. And you, many of you black folks, woke up and you came over because you said, I recognize it. And the Democrats said, we recognize that you recognize. And they cheated you out of your vote. Now, what do Democrats tell you they want for you black folks all the time? They don't want you to be disenfranchised. They want your vote to count, and I could go on. And you know what they did? They negated your vote. They stole your vote. Forget the Russians, the Chinese, the Ukrainians, the Scandinavians, whoever. Put them all together, and the Democrats cheated worse than anybody on the planet. Now, YouTube can get mad at me for saying this. I would be saying this if this were Republicans and they had done it to Barack Obama. But they didn't. I talked about 2008 when Barack Obama, the most controversial, good or bad, but certainly the most charismatic candidate in the history of this nation up to that point. And when he won, there was no mistake about it. Everything leading up to that, whether you were Republican, I was a staunchly non-Obama supporting Republican. And I said, he's winning. Forget it. It's over. Get used to whatever issues that he wants to bring to the fore and be prepared to fight if you don't like it. But he's going to be the president, and that's the end of that. And he was. And in 2010, after watching him for 2 years be the failure that I knew him to be, I predicted he would get his butt kicked, but good, in 2010. And that is exactly what happened. Because he's a horrible president. And his ratings went down, 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 down to absolutely nothing. He was meaningless in 2016, and he was meaningless in 2020. And if you don't think Democrats recognize that and went, we will never have that level of enthusiasm of blacks for one of our candidates. And oh, by the way, this rich white dude, that dude over there, he's actually doing pretty good. He's actually doing good for blacks. He is moving the needle. Despite what we're telling you in the polls and everything else, we know what's really happening. And we got to figure out something different. And what did those clowns do? They ballot stuffed and cheated to their heart's content. That's why they never worried about it. Of course, they still got worries because Trump's going to fight it. But this is a message for black folks. You better wake up. You better stop helping this Democratic Party. You better stop being the squeaky wheel for everything that they do. Charlemagne, the stupid god, who actually called Donald Trump a Marxist. Are you so stupid you don't even know what a Marxist is? Don't even answer. I know you are. Black folks better wake up, and the squeaky wheel better be about this election cycle and how it was stolen from them, from you black folks, because you voted for Trump. Many of you did. You may not admit it, and many more support Trump. And if they can do this now, you're done. They never have to pay attention to you again. Your squeaky wheel better start supporting conservative Republican causes if you think you're going to make any progress in the coming years. You better think about this. You better think about it seriously. And you white folks out there watching this saying, Kevin, you're right. You're right. I know I'm right. You better wake up too. You better wake up to this guilt, this white guilt nonsense, to this white privilege nonsense, And you better become more vocal. And you better become more vocal to your black friends. And you better tell them, if you think you have not gotten what you've wanted over the last few decades with these previous knuckleheads, Donald Trump gave you 4 years of progress. And the Democrats came and they stole it. They stole it as sure as the crown jewels got stolen many years ago. They stole it. And you better stop the theft, because if you think your decades leading up to now have been bad, wait until white folks, these white leftist elitists who've been they've been running roughshod over you for decades. Wait until they figure out they really don't need you. They don't even have to listen when you start belly aching. Wait till what you see what happens next. Because the black community, it is suffering. And it is not suffering because of Donald Trump and his policies. It was suffering under baby black Jesus, and it was suffering long before he came along and put it on steroids, because it's been suffering under leftism for more decades than most of us have been alive. You better think about it. We simply couldn't do this without you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching the KEV Talk series. Thank you for sharing them with others. Don't be a hog. Let other people know.